You know, I just found out that someone that I went to high school with got married and had a baby, and I don't really know how I feel about that because we're like 23. I know I didn't upload on Monday. It's because I didn't want to. I got a new poster, so now it's not so bare above my bed, and I love it. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies of all time. But today, we're gonna be talking about all the books I read in January because I read 4 books. That's crazy. I read 4 fucking books because I actually had the time and the motivation and the willpower to do so. And so I'm going to give like a very short summary. This isn't going to be a ton of spoilers, or if there are, I'll mark them as like really mild. I'm trying to get better at doing book reviews that don't have a ton of spoilers. So, first book I read is called The Woman in the Purple Skirt by Natsuko Imamura. I'm so sorry if I absolutely butchered that. I know I did. So this is a story about a woman, the narrator, who is called the woman in the yellow cardigan. I call her YC, and she stalks this woman who she calls the woman in the purple skirt, who I'm going to call PS to make it easy. Basically, she's just like observing PS, and it's really a voyeuristic kind of tale. PS gets a job at the place that YC works at, and then eventually PS ends up in a relationship with the director at both of their jobs. Really kind of just a story about voyeurism, stalking, obsession, sprinkling with, let's say, about the sometimes desperate desire to be seen. I will leave my Goodreads listed in the description below as well, but I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I actually filmed a reaction to it when I had originally finished it. That was going to be in a different video. So I'm going to let Past Canon take it away and tell you how I feel about that because my reaction is still the exact same the whole time. I just finished The Woman in the Purple Skirt. What the fuck did I just read? I mean that in a good way. See, not even my cat knows. What did we just read? Yeah! This book kind of made me feel a little scuzzy while reading it, but the plot twist, the multiple plot twists, I'm actually pretty good at figuring out what happens in books. Like when it comes to mysteries and like crimes and stuff, but I didn't know what the fuck was happening or what was going to happen in this book. Wow. Wow. This is the first book I finished of this year. Oh my god. It's really good though. The second book that I finished is Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I spent months trying to read this book. I've actually tried finishing it like 3 separate times, and I have not. Basically, this story is about 28-year-old Irina Sturgis from Newcastle in England. She is a photographer that's on a 6-week sabbatical at her job after being assaulted. She takes photos of very average looking men on the streets. It kind of borders on like almost fetish type of videos. They're kind of a bit on the seedy side if I'm being honest, but she meets this guy working at the local Tesco, which I have been informed Tesco is kind of like Costco or Walmart, like the English equivalent of that. If it isn't, please let me know. She meets this guy. She kind of begins this spiral, a little whirlwind of drugs, sex, alcohol, and eating disorder, like disordered eating habits. Yeah, it kind of fucks up the relationship that's developing between the Tesco guy and her best friend, a woman named Flo. They've been together as friends since university, and her past really catches up with her. It's really kind of a darker story. It's described as like a black comedy, but I have some very mixed feelings about this. I wanted to like it more than I did because it had so much potential. My Goodreads review on it sums it up in the best way possible, so I'm going to read it aloud to you. You can also pause to read if you don't want to listen to me yammer on even though you're on this video, so I don't know what else to tell you. This sort of feels like when you're getting off, solo or not, and the buildup is mediocre, and just when you think it's going to get better, you can feel the promise of a good orgasm. Then it's either the weirdest but best or weirdest and worst orgasm you've had in your life. And then you can't tell if it was worth it in the first place. I'm not kidding. I'm looking at my reading progress on this. I shelved it April 24th, 2023, and I did not finish it until January 26th of this year. I wanted to like it, but I I don't know, it wasn't quite there. It's a mild spoiler, but I kind of wish that like her past had started catching up with her a little bit sooner in the book as opposed to in the last, I want to say probably 100 pages, because it does not really... I haven't... What? I wish that the haunting had happened a little bit sooner in the book. I think it would have been a little bit better. I also kind of feel like Clark was a little bit like hesitant to actually describe any of the sex scenes that were in the book, and it just felt kind of rushed and very much like, for a character that supposedly really likes sex, she acts like she does not enjoy it that much. I did like that Irina is not a reliable narrator. That part I found to be kind of nice. I like books that have non-reliable narrators. Do I find her to be a little bit annoying? Yes. Absolutely, yes. The third book that I read is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfeld. I rented this on Libby. I don't have a physical copy of the book. I will not be buying a physical copy of the book, but that is okay. The premise of this book is after Miri's wife, Leah, comes back home roughly 5 months after a 3-week expedition in a submarine gone wrong, there's something wrong with Leah. It's not the Leah that Miri once knew, and the novel dissects the points of view between both women, chronicling Miri dealing with the aftermath and Leah chronicling what happened on the submarine. I almost said ship. Is a submarine a ship? I don't think it is. I actually really enjoyed this book. I gave this book 3 stars. I enjoyed it a lot. The way it's written is really, really nice. There's like this dread and like empty, awkward spaces in what I view as the slow death of a relationship that's like super palpable in the story. Can I help both of you? Yeah, anyway, so there's empty and like really awkward spaces in the book that you feel. You can like physically feel it, and it's like you're there, like kind of third wheeling almost, and you're like, I kind of just felt like I was sitting there being like, yeah, and just, oh my god, why don't you just fucking leave her? My only gripe with this book is that some parts of it felt really unnecessarily long. Mainly with Miri's chapters, I was like, oh my god, like these paragraphs upon paragraphs was like, girl, you can talk. Good God. But can you just not? Can you just be done, please? You know? Otherwise, it was really, really good. I like reading a book with a same-sex couple that doesn't have to deal with homophobia. It's so refreshing. And it's like, oh my God, thank you. There's no slurs in the book. There's no like nothing like that. And it is so, I could pray about it. It's so nice to read that sometimes. The last book I'm so excited about. Ooh! I need to preface this. I'm not normally a nonfiction person. I don't generally like autobiographies, memoirs. I'm just not really kind of into that. The 2 that I do like are Black Boy by Richard Wright and Rocket Boys, which is a memoir by Homer Hickam Jr. Yeah, Homer Hickam Jr. Those are the 2 that I like the most. And now I'm adding this book. I love this book. This book is so incredibly good. Oh my god, this is Julia Fox's memoir, chronicling her time from when she first came to America in 1996 to, I believe, 2021, 2022, just until after her whirlwind romance with a man she called the artist, which we all know is Kanye West. We all know it's Kanye West. I just think it's interesting that she didn't call him by his actual name. I found that really interesting. Chronicles her drug use, alcoholism, relationships, rise to stardom, short-lived marriage, and the birth of her son Valentino. Ooh, brutally, painstakingly honest, in a voice that tells you she wrote this book. You can tell that this is her writing. I mean, obviously she had an editor because just about everyone that's not self-published has an editor. I need Julia Fox to write like a 10-book series. I don't care if it's fictional, self-help. I will read it. Whatever she writes, I will read. I will buy it and I will read it. If Julia Fox has 100 fans, I'm one of them. If Julia Fox has 10 fans, I'm one of them. If Julia Fox has 1 fan, I'm that fan. And if she has 0 fans, I'm dead. I am dead. Oh my god. This book is the first book I have ever given a 5-star rating on Goodreads. And I am notorious for not liking or not giving books on Goodreads a very high rating. The first contemporary book that has been given a 5-star review on my Goodreads. And honestly, the cover is so good. Like the side, look at that back. She looks fantastic. Oh my god, I just really need Julia Fox to write everything ever in the world. Julia Fox, I know you're not ever gonna watch this, but please write more. Anyways, that is all the books that I read this month, and I actually really liked most of the books that I read. I had a couple gripes with some of them, mainly with Boy Parts. That I would say that was probably my least favorite one, and with The Woman in the Purple Skirt. Like I said, I felt a little scuzzy while reading it, but that was kind of the point. Like, you're kind of supposed to feel that way, so I kind of give that a little bit of a pass because the book is doing what it wants you to do. I have this like one hair. Also, I got my hair cut. I just got it shaggier and a little bit shorter, but that's about it. I am savoring all of the things that I read, and I've been reading a lot of textbooks and a lot of legal documents for more research on some video essays that I plan on doing in the next couple months, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Honest to God, I loved this month's read. Down the Drain was my favorite read this month, and I'm probably gonna reread this book if I'm being honest. Like, I'm gonna reread it, and I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of it every single time. Love her. Love her so much. Love this book. That sounded very parasocial. I love this book. I like her personality so far. From what she's shown to the public, I like it. Anyways, that is going to be all from me today. Again, didn't upload on Monday because I didn't want to. But yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and remember, get off your phone, get some water, get some sleep, read a book, go outside, eat some vegetables. The holidays have been over for a while. It's February now. No excuses. And have a great day and night, spring, summer, fall, and winter, wherever you are. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!